This is a very special day for her. She don't even know I'm saying it. Her political career began at the Women's March just a little while ago. So I remember, and you had your baby with you. So anyway, I wasn't supposed to say that. It's not on my list. We also have City Councilwoman Andrea McClellan in the back. We also have, thank you for being here. Thank you for your work. Also, we have, should have gotten the pronunciation. Yes, the Commonwealth's Attorney from Norfolk, Ramin Fahit. Did I come close to pronouncing that correctly? Thank you, Susan. I heard you saying it. So thank you, elected officials, for being here. The work that we're doing, the work that everyone here is doing, is made possible by the elected officials who pass and support us. So thank you for being here. It says a lot. Also, I want to acknowledge those of you who are running for office. Councilwoman McClellan is running for Senate District 21. Absolutely. And we have Susan Hippen, who is running for House District 96. And we have Sean Montiero, who is also running for House District 96. Thank you all for running. I have been in your shoes.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
And you are doing yeoman's work. All right, I'm throwing stuff all over the place. Thank you for running. You all, please support those people who are running, particularly right now. All right. Now, I also want to introduce those people who stepped up, answered the call. This takes a lot of work to put this together. I don't think anybody really knows how much it takes. So if those of you who are on the organizing committee, if you could please wave your hands and say hi.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, in a short time we put this together. The march route, it's a lot of work, and it wouldn't have happened without you all standing up. We got it done, and we made some really cool friends along the way, so appreciate you. Now, I've always been excited about the women's marches, but I am even more excited about this year's march because, today we would be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Roe. And we're not, but that's okay. We're here. No. You know what? I'm not saying that it's okay. We have never backed down from a fight.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They can try all they want, but that's okay. We've never backed down from a fight. But the thing that I love about this march is the theme, that it's bigger than Roe.
Yes.
Overturning Roe was just a start. Our freedoms are on the line, right? They are attacking us from all fronts, from our electoral rights, from workers' rights. You can barely afford to pay rent, so tenants' rights are important. Obviously, our reproductive rights are important. Things are falling behind me. And so the beauty of this march is that we know that it's bigger than Roe. And we are all here from different advocacy areas fighting together, and that is how we win. And that is how we will win, because you know what? We need the Republicans in Richmond to know this ain't Trump country. brick wall right here in Virginia, and they're not going to cross it. And if any elected officials, Republicans, think that they are not going to hear us and feel us, they should know that we are strong and we are here. They need to protect our freedom. That's what this is about. All of our freedom. And we won't stop until they do. So, if you can hear me, if this makes it onto the internet, we will come for your seats if you don't protect our freedom. We're coming for your seats. Now, I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to remind you that the link tree is how you can connect with everybody that you're about to hear from. The link tree, if you just got here, is Indivisible 757. You can support and connect with every organization that you're about to hear from. After you hear them, you're going to want to connect with them if you're not already connected. So I'm going to be quiet now and turn it over to Sean.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. All right. Hey, good afternoon, folks. Who's ready for some good trouble? Are we ready for some great speakers? Are we ready to continue to show that this is not a moment, that it's a movement? I'm Sean Montero, and I have the honor of emceeing today's lineup of organizers that the organizers have brought together, some great community activists and advocates. Remember that this is bigger than Roe. As we realized during the midterms, there was truly so much at stake, and in true fashion, women, genderqueer, trans people, non-binary people, and allies showed up and took the lead, letting those who looked to reduce our rights know that we are not going gently, and we are putting all politicians on notice that we won't go back. We're here today for three things: protecting our freedoms, supporting working families, and siding with our future. Now to introduce our first slate of speakers. Freedom is the foundation on which our country is built. No one person or group owns that word or concept. In America, freedom is for everyone. Our freedom to vote and have equal say in the decisions that impact our lives, our freedom to get the care we need without fearing bankruptcy to get it, our freedom to decide if and when we grow our families are what we must demand that our governments and elected officials protect. To tell us the importance of our freedoms guaranteed through reproductive justice, please welcome Amy Pascoa, Melissa Wooten McFarland, Micah Love Sinclair, and Kanaya Hiro Perez. Kenya. Hey.
All right, thank you everyone for being here. I'm from your local abortion fund, Hampton Roads Reproductive Justice League. We're out here trying to show everyone that abortion is love. It's about love and caring for your community. As much as we're going to be coming for people's seats, come for your community. Invest in community care. We're out here funding abortion because abortion is essential health care, and we are about access. We are not a pro-choice organization. Not everyone in our country has the same choices. All right, can we all get access to get more choices, more access in health care, more access in housing? We want environmental justice. We want a safe place, a sustainable place to raise the families that we already have. All right, we do not have 100% bodily autonomy in the year 2023. Can you imagine that? We cannot consent to what happens to our bodies the government does. They are legislating that. Can you imagine that? How different is that from 200 years ago when some of us had zero body autonomy? All right, we cannot stop until we have 100% body autonomy. Do not let anyone tell you what to do, how to live your families, how to build your families. It is all connected. Marriage equality, housing equality, justice, it all goes back to reproductive justice. If we can take care of ourselves and take care of our families, we will be strong enough to demand from the people in power to please give us our basic human rights. All right, we have a lot of actions. The Virginia Reproductive Equity Alliance is here representing. We've got so many actions. We've got a no abortion ban in Virginia petition you can sign. We are loading the bus up tomorrow. Tell your friends we're leaving from somewhere, and Michelle will tell you where we're leaving from. We're packing a bus, we're going up to Richmond. You can tell your legislators to demand all of your basic human rights and freedoms. You can attend workshops to learn about reproductive justice messaging. You can connect with other activists that are doing this together, because we all need to unite together. We are stronger together. Thank you so much for being here. Please be pro-abortion, be pro-healthcare access. Tell everyone, pro-choice is not it anymore. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Goodness. Thank you so much for being out here. It is cold and rainy. And we were all scared there was only going to be 5 people, so this is a nice turnout.
Oh, we're here.
Yes, we're here. My name is Michelle McFarland, and I'm the organizing manager for Repro Rising, formerly known as NARAL Virginia. And I'm so excited to be here. I've been on the ground for about 7 years, and it's been an up and down roller coaster. While we've definitely made strides statewide here in Virginia by passing the reproductive RIPA, which was a great bill that we were able to pass to repeal trap laws in 2020. We did see the downfall of Roe. We anticipated this as reproductive justice and rights community organizers. We knew this was going to happen because we knew we couldn't depend on the courts. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop fighting. We're going to continue on the fight, and we definitely need you all to please come out tomorrow, testify. You can testify virtually. Yes, it's now virtual now because it's 2020 and really good things have been happening. You can actually testify by putting your testimony on a website. So we do have volunteers that are going around, and they have these really cool QR code swatches. Y'all can raise y'all's hands. Hey. They're not weird. I promise they're the most amazing people you'll ever meet. and they are signing up for Advocacy Day, what Amy was talking about. We do have a bus, a really big bus we want to fill. So it is leaving here from Norfolk, which is across from ODU, that parking lot. And we're going to Richmond. If you cannot come with us, because I know that's a hard ask to ask you right now, because y'all got to work, please, we need testimony for the constitutional amendment.
Okay.
So the Virginia Reproductive Equity Alliance, we are working on 2 major bills, the constitutional amendment and also the Reproductive Equity Act. Did I say that right?
Well, the Contraception Equity.
Contraception Equity Act, thank you. So we are taking testimony for that. There is a hearing on Tuesday for the constitutional amendment, and there might be a hearing later on in the week for the Contraceptive Equity Act. So, like I said, we need testimony, we need people to come out, let your legislator know that this is what you want. The constitutional amendment is to enshrine abortion rights into our state constitution. And this is something that is a campaign, but we're gonna get there, and we hope to have this on the ballot by 2024, right? Or 2025. So we can do it together. That means you gotta go out, you gotta vote for people, you gotta make sure we got our elected officials, our pro-choice officials in office, so we can make that happen. So we can be as protected as our folks across the country that are voting for reproductive justice and equity across the country with ballot initiatives. So that's what we're working on. We hope you're able to help us in some capacity in trying to do as much as you can. If it's virtual testifying, if it's giving us testimony, that's great too. And if you're able to come out tomorrow, we would love to have you because we have a lot of great things planned. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll hand this off to Kenya.
Hello, my name is Kenya Haro Perez. I am the Virginia State Policy Advocate for the Latina Institute. And I just want to get up here and kind of piggyback a little bit off of Michelle to talk to you more about Advocacy Day and to urge everyone to just call your legislators and to keep spreading the word just about the constitutional amendment and the contraception equity bill. So the contraception equity bill is SB 1112. Essentially what that would do is give individuals the full range of birth control options at no cost to them. And right now, a person is not able to access any type of birth control they want with healthcare plans that they have. And so we are just trying to, get contraception justice, pass this bill, and make sure everyone, no matter, what that person's life intersects with, right? No matter who they are, they will have access to the full range of birth control options. And so I urge you to contact your legislators. It's going to be heard again in committee this week, SB 1112. And I just urge you to keep calling your legislators to support it. It's SB 1112, and in the House side, it's HB 2089. And also keep calling your legislators about the constitutional amendment. We have a press conference on Tuesday at 10:30 on the constitutional amendment. You can watch that online from the Virginia's legislative website at lis.virginia.gov, and you can watch it live. I also encourage you to get with Michelle to provide testimony. We need as many voices from every region in Virginia, from just any possible intersection you can think of. We just encourage you to fill out testimony so that we have as much support as possible, and just support our campaign, because we know that this is going to be a years-long strategic effort, but we're excited and we're motivated, and we would really just appreciate your support as we continue that endeavor. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Amy, Michelle, and Kenya. I am trainable. All right, I am trainable. All right. An economy that is built from the bottom up and middle out is an economy where everybody benefits. Freedom is enhanced when our government supports our working families. It begins with our children's freedom to learn the right history, and jump on that ladder up. It continues with our freedom to make a good living. It is ensured with our freedom to join together in a union and negotiate a fair return on our work. That's right. It is enhanced by freedom to care for our family and, if need be, recover from illness or injury. Finally, it is the freedom to retire in dignity. Yes. To tell us the importance of our freedoms guaranteed through worker and tenant rights, please welcome Charles O. Brown and Dee Smith.
Let's go.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Yeah, it's freezing, but I am going to let this show. I'm here. I actually work for an organization called the UE, United Electrical Radio and Machine Workers of America, but one of our partner organizations is the Tidewater Workers Assembly, which is under the Southern Workers Assembly. And how long do we have? Because I don't want to keep on. Because what I'm going to do, because I think it would be fitting, I want to read our statement, because we actually put out a statement last year, right before Roe v. Wade was overturned. And I think it's relevant, especially being that we're here on what would have been the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade. So it reads as, the Southern Workers Assembly stands in solidarity with the many thousands who have taken to the streets to demonstrate outrage at the Supreme Court's imminent attack on women's rights. We also recognize the special importance of the South in the fight to keep abortion safe and legal. Roe v. Wade, the 1973 Supreme Court ruling that declared it unconstitutional for states to restrict abortion rights unduly, was a Texas case. Justice Alito's draft opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade pertains to a Mississippi law banning abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. If it goes forward, the new ruling will overturn the federal precedent that has protected women's rights to have an abortion. All abortion rights would be determined at the state level. Like racist, quote-unquote, right-to-work laws, which undermine our collective bargaining rights, and like restrictions on voting rights, these sexist attacks on abortion rights originated in the South. They will have the greatest impact here as well. Many southern and western states have laws in place that will protect women's rights to choose. Of the states that don't have such laws, most are in the South. And in fact, all the southern states, with the exception of Virginia, women's rights are not safe. Legal abortion will be curtailed, in some cases immediately, if this ruling goes forward. Restriction access to abortion cripples women's rights to self-determination and threatens decades of hard-fought progress towards gender equality. It jeopardizes a woman's physical, emotional, and economic well-being. It puts our most important lives at choice, whether and when to have a child, in the hands of a few wealthy, powerful men who have no business making it. But this ruling would disproportionately affect women of color, who already have worse outcomes and less access to health care, and working class women who are less able to travel to another state where abortion remains legal. As is too often the case, wealthy inequity will determine who is and who is not subjected to an unjust law. The ruling would also open the door to wide-ranging attacks on other basic democratic and civil rights, including voting rights and workers' rights. The most reactionary elements of the right wing continue to gain and consolidate power. Our movements must confront this rising threat directly and put forward our own program for a just society that workers can take up and use as a basis to fight on. Oppression takes place everywhere, but in the U.S., and particularly in the United States South, this has a long history of legalizing. Slavery and segregation, as well as anti-worker and anti-immigrant, as well as anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ measures, have made our beautiful landscape into a series of battlegrounds. Yet what starts in the South doesn't always stay in the South. Quote-unquote racist right-to-work laws and Jim Crow voting rights began here, but they have undermined unions and democracy everywhere. On the other hand, as the civil rights movement demonstrated, when people win in the South, the impact is profound. The Southern Workers Assembly stands with those who oppose this ruling and oppose right-wing politicians who want to restrict rights that give people autonomy, to get an abortion, to vote, to collectively bargain. Those politicians don't represent the people. They represent the desires of a few to dominate and control historically oppressed groups. To fight them, we must continue to build a powerful, united working class movement that embraces the women's movement alongside the Black liberation, immigrants' rights, and LGBTQ movements. As central to the working class struggle, the South continues to fight the hardest. It has the hardest fights, but when the South loses, the whole country as a whole loses. But when the South wins, we all win. And again, this was put out on May 7, 2022. So I think this was just a few days before the unfortunate ruling by the Supreme Court. But I want to leave you all with saying that workers support you. Hell, we all workers, so we're all speaking amongst each other. But I think it's prevalent that we understand, as I said in the statement, Virginia is one, as a matter of fact, it's the only state in the U.S. South that has not taken these measures, and we intend to keep it that way. So with that, I thank y'all for letting us speak. We have some measures going forward. We've been, on the union side, we've been pushing for collective bargaining in Virginia Beach. It's been a continuous fight. We have some politicians who don't agree with us, but we flipped some seats last year, so we had some allies on there. But I do want to say this because we are nonpartisan. I know we have some candidates here, but when it comes to workers' rights, we don't necessarily care whether Democrat or Republican, because we know that we have a lot of blue dogs, the Democrats in name only. So we plan on keeping them accountable too. I don't want to go too off script, but I think it needs to be said because I think there's a tendency to think that just because someone has a D behind their name, that they're automatically for the workers. And we also need to make it known that when it comes to black and brown people specifically, you know, in many ways, both parties have this two wings of the same bird. So we really need to make sure that we're keeping both sides accountable. Because don't think that just because someone has a D behind their name, that they're automatically going to be on your side. So with that, I want to close out and yield the mic. So thank you.
I'm Dee. I'm here as a couple of Humanities Behind Bars. We organize with currently and formerly incarcerated folks and their families. We do mutual aid with them. We build networks of care. I'm also with the Tidewater Solidarity Bail Fund, keeping our community members free. I also do Tidewater tenants' rights. Tenants and tenant advocates fighting for housing as a human right. So we're all here today. We know all of our movements overlap in some way. We're all fighting for freedom, for liberty, for rights.
For liberation, that's right.
So I have a couple of things that I wanted to point out as we're all here to tell our stories and demand our rights. We know what it takes to make change, and because we're all here together today, and we're all going to Richmond at some point to talk to our legislators, we know what it takes to make this change. We're ready to fight, and we're in this together. So all the moments that we use, we can make our voices heard and make our dreams a reality. We can dream up new worlds and new ways of living and loving. We know this work continues every day, every hour, every minute, and one victory for one is a victory for all. As we continue to demand our freedom, we continue to practice radical love. We won't stop until we get what we want and what we deserve. We deserve affordable housing, full access to abortions, and we deserve freedom.
Right on. Thank you, Dean Charles.
This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. You're mad. It matters. It matters. You're not pissed off. You're coming right now, locally, statewide, federally. This is our time to be calm and even. With the right people. Pick
not
your
about life.
energy up and get mad.
Not about life.
All right.
It's not about life. It's about control.
That's right.
Everything. It's about control. Not about life.
All right. So now on to our final slate of speakers. Safe communities and safe police encounters allow us the freedom to live our lives as we see fit. Safe communities ensure our children's freedom to be themselves and pursue their dreams. Ending brutality and fostering accountability makes our communities safer. and ensures our freedom to be treated with dignity by those sworn to protect and serve. It ensures our freedom to breathe.
Yes.
Safe communities are communities free from gun violence.
Yes.
We must demand common sense gun laws that will reduce and eventually end gun violence. We must demand our freedom to trust our kids will come home safe. We must demand our freedom to go to the grocery store, send our kids to school, to worship, to live our lives, and walk through our communities without fear of gun violence.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
To tell us the importance of our freedoms guaranteed through gun violence prevention, please welcome Jacqueline Horton, Shauna Turner, and LaTanya Snow.
Talk heavy on it.
Don't matter. I guess you won't.
There you go.
Talk heavy on the ground. There you go. Talk heavy on the ground.
Come on, tell us. Tell us.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Jacqueline Horton. Some of you all know me as Angie. I'm an activist, I'm an organizer, I'm a civic engagement director, and I'm the founder of the Underground 1865, which is built on advocacy, mutual aid, and organizing and education. Over the last 3 years, I've worked directly with families impacted by gun violence at the hands of police. I've done this nationally and locally. Xavier Hill's family, DeShayla Harris, Donovan Lynch,
Say their name.
Sierra Jenkins,
Say their
and
name.
so many more.
Say their name. Say their name.
Some not killed by the police, some killed by the gun violence that continues to plague our communities. When thinking of gun violence, we have to consider policing, the lack of resources in disenfranchised areas, and gun legislation. Gun violence has killed many of those that I love, that you love, and so many innocent lives. According to the CDC, for every 100,000 people in Virginia alone, 13.4 will be killed due to a firearm-inflicted wound. 6.4 of the 100,000 will be killed due to homicide. Those numbers should alarm you, and they should call you to get upset.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
While we cannot prevent all gun violence, we sure can work together to combat it. We can work to find healthier ways for our communities to de-escalate. We can lobby for legislation that makes guns less easily accessible. We can advocate for laws that force accountability within policing.
Yes, we can.
You can hold your legislators accountable.
Yes, we can.
You can force them to take gun violence seriously.
Yes, we
you
can.
can force them to take housing seriously.
Yes,
You
yes,
can
we
force
can.
them to take voting rights, LGBTQIA rights, immigrants' rights, environmental injustice, reproductive rights, and civil rights seriously.
Yes, we can right now.
The power still belongs to the people.
Yes, it
But it's up to us to stand up and fight back. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, y'all. I woke up this morning with brain fog because I woke up to the California shootings.
Yes.
So it brought me triggers. Normally, I speak from the heart. I don't bleed on the paper, but I had to today because I can't get my mind right.
I hear you.
We're right here with you.
We're with
We
you.
got you.
Hello, and hold on, I'm sorry. Hello, and thank you for the invite, HR Justice League. My name is Shauna Turner, and I'm the executor of HR Mass. That's Hampton Roads Mothers, Men, and Movement Against Senseless Killing. It is in honor of my late son, Shaquille T. Turner, who was murdered by gun violence on 12/12/2017. He was leaving work, and he got killed by a coworker. I salute every advocate, political leader, and every other leader that will be coming up to follow them, who are brave enough to take this stance. This is what our ancestors did. It's about having a voice instead of being voiceless.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I would like to say we are against we're not against your Second Amendment rights. We want to say that, but we are saying we're asking for what's right and what makes better sense and common sense. I have been in front of many legislators. I have talked and walked. I have done a lot of walking about gun violence and talking to people. But here today, we are still in the same position. It has increased.
That's worse.
I would like, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like writing, seriously. No, but thank you. All right, we should be able to go to work, worship, drive, go to school, conduct business, have leisure time without worrying about bullets that are being let off senselessly. Yep. To live peacefully in our homes. Instead, we have to go into homes where guns are being used for domestic violence. Yeah. They're taking out families with guns. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about right now, every 60 seconds, someone is being killed right now as we speak. If we look around, I'm sorry, I would want to wish this on any of you, to lose your loved one, because we should be burying, our children should be burying us. Okay, so I'm sorry. And this paper's a mess. I'm tired of talking and walking with no changes. Instead of getting looks like when I tell people my story, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. And I've had this from people sitting in Richmond, but no one has done anything. So we do have to hold you accountable, because you should be able to go to Richmond and work and not have guns come in your office too, right? So gun violence has not ceased, it has increased. It's an epidemic, it's a genocide on our Black and brown communities. We are losing too many. Women have always been the front lines. It's innate for us.
That's right.
To be on the battlefield.
That's right.
But today I'm asking our men to stand up and save our generations. I want my grandchildren and their children to thrive. Please wake up, Virginia. Please wake up, America. Our country is in distress, and my body is my body. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Okay, my name is Latanya Snow. My name is Auntie Advocate also. Thank you guys for coming out today. Stand up for what you believe in. Y'all, I'm cold and I'm nervous, so.
You got this.
It's like,
All right, we're right here. Go ahead.
I want you guys to imagine losing 3 people under the age of 21 in less than 24 months. That's what my life has been like since January 2021 until today. That's 24 months. January the 9th, 2021, Virginia State Police killed my nephew, Xavier Hill. We're gonna always talk about Xavier. I'm gonna put my phone down for a second. Y'all know hi. So I want y'all to say his name. Say his name is Xavier Hill. Say his name is Xavier Hill. Say his name is Xavier Hill. A few months after Xavier was killed, Shayla Harris was killed, Donovan Lynch was killed. Following their killings, Xavier's sister was hit by a Richmond police car, and she was also killed. So like I said again, imagine your life within 24 months, and you're losing 3 people. The third person that I mentioned, his name is Maurice Wilson. He was killed by community gun violence in Chesapeake. Yeah. Maurice is also under the age of 21. Maurice brought Xavier's birthday cake to our very first Zay Day that we had at, I can't think of the park.
Take your time.
Not Busch Gardens, but what's the other park, y'all? Water Country. So Maurice was on Cake Patrol, and he had to get Xavier's cake there safe because it was the cake. Okay, it was the cake, okay? But then a couple months later, we lost Maurice. If you guys know, gun violence is not going to stop because a gun in the wrong hands will never equal positive results. I don't care if you're the police. I don't care if you're a gun owner. Doesn't mean you're a responsible gun owner.
That's right.
Gun violence is a real pandemic, and we continue to sweep it under the rug until we say, oh my God, it hit home. That makes no sense.
That's right.
Your state you live in, your city you live in, that is home. It doesn't hit your doorstep for it to hit home. I'm your neighbor, I'm your neighbor, I'm your neighbor. We are family. Okay?
Yes, we are.
I want y'all to act like we're family.
Take us like your family.
That's
It's
right.
time for everyone to take a stand. But I want y'all to understand that your voice means something. Y'all, I be going to city council and I'm like, they don't be paying attention to me. I promise you, they be looking on my Instagram, they be on my Facebook, and I be like, yo, that's how they know. They pay attention. It's scary because it's not your territory, but guess what? It is our territory.
Yes, it is. That's right.
Our houses, y'all.
Yes,
Hold
that's right.
the people accountable. Guess
right.
what? But they want them seats, they was knocking at the door. They want the people that was calling your phone. So they want that attention now, so give us our rights. Protect us, as you so-called say. I'm asking y'all to stand with me and my family. My sister's Instagram is Justice for Xavier. Please follow her story. We have court in April. You can, from your phone, you can write the governor from the phone. You ain't got to get up and go to Richmond. You can do it from the phone.
Yes.
Okay, you can work from your phone. Okay, you don't have to, no gas, I can't. You can. I want us 2023 to turn our camp into can. I'm asking y'all again to say his name as loud as you can. Justice for Xavier Hill. Say his name, Xavier Hill. Say his name, Xavier Hill. Thank you, guys.
Short, but I'm a normal person. I am just like y'all. And when it comes to advocacy, I am out here, and I want to be out here. And we got to be a force multiplier. We have to be able to spread this message, and we have to get more people involved. If this many people can come out in the rain and the cold, how many people can we get out there when it's nice? And how many people are really behind us? Everyone, almost everyone. Let me back it up. I get excited. I'm gonna go ahead and back up and not use my notes because something Kimberly's not. When I first got into this, I had never been a politician. I had never been in office. I had never done anything like this. I had been a teacher, and I was in real estate, and I had one daughter, two daughters, sorry. Two. I have three now, so I gotta remember when time for it.
I'm telling them you said that.
So, on the march, I didn't know it was for me when I went there. I had been reaching out to my delegate, Villanueva, who ended up in federal prison. So, I think I made the right choice in running. But I've been reaching out to my delegate, trying to make sure he listened to me about this certain resolution. It was called the Day of Tears. And it was to mark January 22nd, the anniversary of Roe versus Wade, as a day of mourning. And it encouraged people to fly their flags at half-mast to mourn all the abortions. I was so appalled that I had reached out several times in different ways and never got a response. Not even an automatic email, we got your response, nothing. And I said, this can't be right. This cannot be right. We drove back from the Women's March because it was all happening around the same time. And the day we drove back was the 22nd. And I saw flags at half-mast. And I was so discouraged by that. And I remember that feeling being up there with my inaugural baby born on, Tessa was born on Inauguration Day in 2009. So that's why we kind of made a big deal about it at the time. You're going to be the first woman president, and now you're not going to get what you want. We're going to go up there and fight for it. And then we both realized that we weren't alone. Everyone was with us. And that this was the right thing to do. So let me tell you about Richmond. It's not like I thought. Naively optimistic is what my husband calls me. Really thinking things are going to get done. My first bill, I put in just to change the 3-doctor requirement to 1 in the last trimester in case of an emergency. Think about it. You're in a rural area, you have an emergency, not C-section, you need an emergency abortion, and you can't get it because you need 3 doctors to certify it. I put that bill in. Died. Every bill I had died. I was just a little too blue and in a purple district that they just wanted to kill everything I did. So what I did do was help pass the reproductive legislation a few years ago in 2020 that does make us a state right now that is protected somewhat from the decision from the court. I was a part of that. We were able to take off those waiting periods and those informed consent, and the barriers that made it harder for women to get abortions. Now women can come here when they need to. I talked to my OBGYN yesterday just because he's trying to help me talk through it in a very normal way to help people understand it. Because my life was on the line, my baby's life was on the line when I had an induction, when I had a C-section. We need to let doctors do their jobs.
That's right.
We need to trust medical professionals and trust women.
That's right. That's right.
I don't need any man standing up and legislating what happens within my body.
That's right. Tell them.
So we have my 3 kids, we have 3 uteruses in the house, well, 4. I'm thinking through how many there are, and my poor husband. But he supports us and would be here right now if he wasn't home with the sick ones. So I want you to remember in Richmond that they're going to try their best to get 15 weeks, they'll kind of push it up, 16, 7, they'll kind of make it like it's no big deal just to get a win. But there is no win. If anything, we have to stay strong on what we have right now, because we know we can do that. We can hold them accountable to what we have right now, just keep us safe. And then we can progress further. We got to get the right people in office. We got to get more women.
Yes.
More women who know and who can understand this issue. Yes. More believing of the medical professionals, which is crazy to me. So please, I'm not great at giving speeches. You should have heard me the first time I ever talked in public. I mean, it was awful. But
You say you're good now, girl.
But I just want y'all to know that this fight doesn't seem like it's ever going to end. And so we got to do and bring in the people and make the big movement now. That way our kids, the next generation, doesn't have to deal with this. Now my oldest is 14 as of 2 days ago. 14, taller than me. You wouldn't know it was my kid. So in 4 years, 18, I got to worry about this kid going out into the world that I haven't quite gotten ready for them yet. And I know I can't do it alone. You guys all did it with me. We've been working hard. I feel very alone right now in the house because we're in the minority, so every bill is, dies. But I am making a stand and talking every chance I can up there.
There you go.
I am making sure that I stop my foot and bring attention to the stuff that they do in their finance committees and that they don't want to bring attention to, and they're hiding money and getting rid of mass shooting commissions. All those things.
Keep them away.
So I will keep them accountable. I'll call them out for their process.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Money runs Richmond.
We know.
I know, but it's pretty bad. So when we keep people accountable, we're talking about all parties. There's no party owns freedom.
That's right.
We are for freedom and rights and our personal rights. So we're not marching, but please be a force multiplier. I'll do what I can. Everyone has a role. From the people that are put this together, thank you so much to all of you all. Let's give them a big round of applause. To the people who came out in the rain and cold. Please, that is the best.
This is our fight.
This is our fight, and we're in it till the end. So just stay tuned, and we'll keep getting information about when we have these things to you all, so we can make sure everyone just multiply it, guys. Okay? Let's do it.